Hey, welcome to the Dre Way. I'm glad you're here. We have a lot of stuff to talk about today. You know, things are changing and changing fast, and I'm glad you're here. Make sure that you follow, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We got a lot to go over today. Let's go. Welcome to the Dre Way. I'm glad you're here. Man, we got to talk about it's in the news, it's everywhere, and I want to get your opinion on it because I'm going to give you mine right now. And I'm talking about Hunter Biden. Yeah, I can't believe I'm talking about Hunter Biden or why I'm talking about Hunter Biden, but it seems like everyone's making a big deal out of the fact that the president of the United States is going to protect his son. Because what his son ultimately did, yeah, no one's ever been prosecuted like this for that. You know, for a gun charge of checking the wrong box. Yeah, okay, that's something that's never been prosecuted like this. Certainly no one's gone to jail over it. So I'm glad this whole thing is just going away because it's just been years and years and years of Republicans attacking this man. And I don't know why we think it's okay to attack somebody that has an illness, that has a drug addiction, that has done so much to overcome it, change his life, yet people want to keep going after this man. And I just don't get it. I don't understand why. This isn't like he attacked the Capitol building and broke in trying to harm people. This wasn't the case. This is a guy that owed taxes, paid them, and filled out a gun registration form incorrectly. Yeah, and for that, Republicans are like, we gotta get him, You're not gonna get him. You're not gonna get him. Just like Donald Trump got out of going to jail because magically he became president, so he doesn't have to go to jail now. Same thing with Hunter Biden. He has a dad that is like, yeah, I'm not gonna leave my son out in the open for Republicans that are now coming into office to do what they want to with them. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. He's been through enough. I think he's been through enough going back and forth to court. How many times has he gone back and forth to court? And for what? What ultimately did he? Was anybody harmed in what he did? And anybody? I don't see anybody that got harmed whatsoever. So what are we doing? You know, I just think enough is enough. I think that Biden did the absolute correct thing. And I think Biden giving him a blanket pardon was the right thing to do because who knows what would happen when the Republicans get in the office and them trying to trump up a charge somewhere else. I'm glad Biden just took it off the table and went, you know what? My son's been through enough. Our family's been through enough. You know what I would do if I was Biden? I would step up and I would say, haven't I done enough for this country? Haven't I served this country loyally for the last 50 years? If you don't like what I've done for this country, you step up and you tell me what you've done for this country. You know, I've put in 50 years of doing the best I could. Been a senator for decades, a vice president, now a president. I gave you everything I had. Was I perfect? Was I always the best? I always did my best. Was I perfect? No. But I always did the best I could. And I served my country for 50 years. If any of you have a problem with Biden, step up and show me your resume. Step up to the plate and say, here's my resume. Here's what I did for the country. I'm just saying, I think it's, you know, it's just a shame that every single time we get somebody, and it doesn't matter whether it's Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, Biden, it doesn't matter who it is. The Republican Party has to just go after these people and attack them and make them sound like they're the worst people in the world. And it's just sad that we do that. It's sad that we do that in this country, that we have to pinpoint people out and say that they're the worst ever. because all you have to do is bring up Biden's name and any Republican goes, oh, worst president ever, worst president ever. And that's what you say about every single Democratic president. Every Democratic president that has to pull the country out of the fire after Republicans have completely destroyed it. So what is my take on it? I think Joe Biden did what any father would do. Certainly what I would have done. First of all, can you imagine if Donald Trump was in office? Do you think Donald Trump would have let the Department of Justice go after his son? Yeah, that never would even happen. That would have been buried immediately. But Joe Biden did the absolute correct thing, and I'm glad he did what he did so that we can put the whole Joe Biden thing to rest. It was a ridiculous thing to begin with. Why we spent that much money and time on it, I have no idea. I guess when you don't have much, you have to grasp on to any straw, and that was the straw that the Republicans grabbed onto. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know right down here. Welcome to the Dre Way. I am glad you're here. We have some strange things to talk about. I'll tell you next. Stay with me. This is going to sound strange, but yeah, I want to talk about Sophie Rain. Do you know about Sophie Rain? Have you read the article? Sophie Rain has made $43 million. $43 million. She's got 11 million subscribers. On OnlyFans. 11 million. You know, here I am getting ready to stop my podcast. I have visions of 2,500 members, and here she's got 11 million. There's the difference between being a good-looking 20-year-old female and being a great-looking 61-year-old male. No? Okay, whatever. If I give myself an A, I'm allowed to give myself an A. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, good for her. You know, good for her. She's making more money than most pro athletes. In fact, nearly all of them. And she's doing it at 20 years old. And I think there's a lesson to be learned here. Is that, social media, first of all, social media is not easy. Everybody thinks, oh, all you got to do is jump on social media. Look, that's all she did is just jump on and she's making 43 million. Yeah, I'm sure her path was a little simpler than, say, someone like me. I'm 61 years old. I don't have the benefit of being a really attractive female, but make no mistake about it. She still has to, day after day after day, she still has to put in the work. And I give her full credit for taking advantage of these platforms and making the money. And the reason that I bring this up is because I want everybody to kind of focus on that for the next 4 years. Because everybody has been writing to me saying, what are you going to do for the next 4 years? What are you going to do? Oh my gosh, what should we do? You know what you should do? You should focus on your friends, your family, and your business. That's what you should focus on. What happens in Washington, you have no control over whatsoever. What am I going to do? I'm going to sit back and continue doing my show and reporting on what I think is going on with the new administration, and I'm going to point out all the promises they made and all the places where they're falling short. Because that's what Donald Trump does. That's his history for the last 40 years. He makes outlandish promises and fulfills nearly none of them. So I will be right here on the Dre Way pointing out day after day after day. In other words, I'll be focusing on my show, my business, my social media platforms, and doing my thing. Because what's to worry about? I can't alter or change what's going on in Washington. And neither can you. So my best advice to you is, sit back and focus on the things that are important. Family, friends, and your business. If you focus on those three things, I promise you, the next 4 years will go by a lot quicker. Because ultimately, that's what this whole thing is about. It's about the next 4 years and how much they can achieve in 4 years. And my feeling is they're not going to achieve much. That's what the Republicans have a history of doing. They have a history of not doing that much. So just like Sophie Rain has focused on her platforms and focused on making money and in being better. She's doing all of this at 20 years old. So if she can do this at 20 years old, I'm certainly thinking I can certainly focus on my platforms, on my audience, on my family, on my friends, and do the best shows that I can, be the best friend that I can, and be the best family member that I can. If I just focus on those, three things, I think the next 4 years will go by like that. Let me know what you think. Put it down in the comments. And if you haven't checked out Sophie Rain yet, check it out and let me know what you think. I'm curious to hear what you think, but I think there's a lesson to be learned there. Let me know what you think. I have a final thought. Everybody has gotten kind of moving slowly again after the election. There's a lot of people, including myself, that the election kind of hit you hard, and I understand that. But this is a time in December that I want you to try as hard as you can to focus on the holiday spirit and spending time with family and loved ones, because that's what I'm going to do. As some of you know, I take care of my mother and father. My father has dementia. My mother is surviving from breast cancer. So my parents are 84 years old. My parents now live with me, and I take care of them on a full-time basis, along with I'm a single father to my 8-year-old son, Drayton. So I just want you to be aware this December and kind of talk yourself into getting into the Christmas spirit, if you will, and start really looking at having the very best Christmas that you can with your family and your friends, and try to just take in the love from everybody. I know that sounds kind of kumbaya, but I think that's what we need right now. I think we need kind of that, getting back with family and realizing how lucky we are. Like, I'm going to soak in every moment from this Christmas, because I don't know how many Christmases I have left with my parents. My parents are 84 years old. How many do I have left? I don't know. So I'm just going to take it all in. My son is 8 years old. He's still in, the Christmas joy. And I just want all of you to stop for a minute. I know you've got stress. I know you've got worries. I know you've got all kinds of things that, get your mind. But I want you to start to think about the joy in your life. This is the time. December is the time to just stop. Get rid of all the negative stuff. You've got the rest of the year. You got 2025 to start in January worrying about stuff. I'm just talking about in December, with the Christmas spirit being around and Christmas lights and the joy of Christmas. I just want you to stop and take time to really look at the people in your lives and let them know how appreciative you are that they are in your lives. Because tomorrow, like I've said many times, tomorrow is guaranteed to no one. So I know some of you are having a real hard time. I don't know if you have to turn the Christmas music on. I don't know what you have to do to get into the spirit, but if it's a smell, if it's a song, if it's a place, put yourself there. Because I want you to really have not just a great Christmas, but a great holiday season. And I want you to stop and smell the roses a little bit. And I want you to appreciate the people that you have in your life. I know I keep saying this, but I woke up today with another sense of, we just got to get back to what we have to get back to is realizing people in our lives come and go. And this is not forever, folks. We don't have what we have forever. Things change and people come and go. So appreciate the loved ones that you have right now and let them know how much you love them. Thank you for joining me on The Dre Way. The Dre Way, a new show every day. And please hit the subscribe button and just know there's a new Dre Way every single day. And I'll be with you all the way through Christmas. And I want you to have the spirit like I will, because if you need help in the Christmas spirit, you're in the right spot. So have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me on the Dre Way. We will see you tomorrow right here on the Dre Way. We'll see you later.